Okay, I believe I'm live. Hello and welcome, everybody. I hope you've had an amazing week. I've been staying busy myself. I hope that you have found time to get into your craft space and make something creative. Julie says, hello, coffee, because it's early morning for her. She's already into Tuesday. We're in the future with you, Julie. Cinnamon coffee, even better. Wow. I'm having I guess this would be a caramel vanilla iced latte. That's what I have. Yes, it's homemade. Henry will usually make a pot of coffee and then he may get a cup or two out of it hot, and then we'll let it get to room temperature, and then we'll put it in the refrigerator and refrigerate it overnight so that the next day we can make a latte or a coffee. He likes iced coffee, period. He doesn't put milk or creamer in it. I have to put, are you ready? I have to put about a cup of, in this size, this is huge. I think this is a 32, I don't know, maybe bigger than that. It's huge. It's as big as my head. Can't you see? I put 1 cup of milk, and I put about a half a cup of creamer. And then I put a teaspoon of Splenda, and I put 2 pumps of caramel flavoring. And then I fill that in the cup, and then I put the rest of it coffee. So some days I'm a little heavy on the cream, and so maybe there's only a little bit of coffee. So, pardon me, I got choked up, tickled at myself. So my coffee is really a reason to drink milk and sugar. Gotcha. Julie says she has to confess it has lots of milk heated in the microwave and some sugar. Well, and when I make a hot coffee, I make a hot latte. So I know the measurements because I'll get a measuring cup out, like a 4-cup measuring cup, and I will put a cup of milk, and I'll put half a cup of creamer, and I'll put it in the microwave and heat it up. And then I'll pour my coffee on top in my cup. Oh yeah, and I have to put ice in the cup too as well. So welcome. We got the coffee out of the way. I've been playing around in my room, and I found a stash of fussy cut items that I made. I don't know, a long time ago. These are all done with rubber stamped, and then I hand colored all of these with pencils. Looks like I may have used, after I did the pencil, either I may have done it's a blending pen that you can use. I can't remember if it's an acetone type blend to it that makes the wax pencil blend just a little bit. And then these were all fussy cut out. Look at all that. I used to make greeting cards all the time, so I would make a bunch of these types of things. Like this is a butterfly that I haven't fussy cut out, but I've colored it. And then I have some other things in here. What is this? I've got, oh, I remember this stamp. I haven't used this stamp in forever because I've packed up all my non-beeline designs, and if they aren't Linda Israel, I've packed them away for now, but I want to get them out soon. So this was a rubber stamp that I colored again with colored pencils. And then here's another one that I did with colored pencils. So while I was digging, I happened to find in this same area, not the same era, I found this in the same area, and it is let me find the front cover. It is gosh, I got Painted Garden 2018 calendar. So this is a long, long time ago. And I thought what I would do first is I'm going to remove the staple that's here in the middle. I should be able to do that with a standard staple puller. So I'm going to pull that staple out, throw it away. Don't throw it on the floor because if you walk around barefoot, you'll step on it. Ask me how I know. All right, then I got the other one out. It is free. Okay, now I got to flip back through it, right? So y'all can see all the pretty papers. So look at these roses. And then these pink flowers. I was looking at it because it's kind of a matte paper. That one's really pretty. And I thought, oh, you know, I kind of like the way this feels. And when I was looking through it, I saw this picture and I thought, you know, that's the one I want to use. I think it's almost the last one. Yeah, here it is. So I'm going to take this out and cut it using my paper cutter. I'm just going to cut where the printing ends at the top. This is a 12 by 12 calendar. My pages are 12 inches by 12 inches. Isn't it pretty? Yeah. Yeah, Dante finding. Yes, exactly. The sunflowers are pretty too, weren't they? Oh yeah, back when I used to spray those with glimmer mist and stuff. I've got all kinds of old stuff. All right, so I've got this page, and this is text weight paper book pages on the other side. And while they are pretty, and I didn't want to have to cover them up, I think for the integrity, this is the last page in the journal that I'm going to go ahead and glue down this whole piece on this page. So you can see here's the first page. And then on the other side, now I can't get a hold of it. On the other side, I have this one done. And I thought, well, I'm going to start at the back of the journal a little bit to move forward so that my journal can kind of stay even as I place things on it. So I have a hard time lining up my papers. So I'm going to do this. I guess I could have done it with a different type of clip. But I'm just going to use a paper clip over the edge. And then my goal is I'm just going to glue in here all the way to the edge, just with Aleene's tacky glue. Just trying to put enough glue on there to hold this together. Lay that back down. And hopefully I've done this right. And I'm just smoothing that out. There's some bulk behind it because of the other pages. So I'll use my bone folder a little bit. Then I'm going to remove these paper clips. And then just so it's easier for me, I'm going to flip up this edge and glue it down. I'm going to put it this way. That'll really give this page a lot more durability by putting that other on there. The pink hydrangeas on the faces a certain way looks like a heart. Yeah, okay, yeah, sometimes hydrangeas can have those pretty looks to them. These are, I think they're supposed to be a version of a poppy, and there's another flower that I can't remember the name of that kind of has this look in there. Okay, so I got that part, and I was trying to decide what I wanted to do afterwards, and I'm thinking I wanted to put down a piece of paper across. I think I'm going to do it within the edges and make a couple of rows. I don't know if I want 3 or 2. And then I have some elements, some cards. I just kind of grabbed a few things because this was going to be predominantly blue. So these are some cards that I made. And then these are some calico collage images. And then this is an image from Brutus Monroe. They had a paper pack that had feathers in it. And at the time, we couldn't get the printed paper sent to us when I was on the design team. So he sent it to us as a digital. And I had printed it, but I think my printer was out of ink. And so it made it blue. So I thought, well, okay, I'll try that. I've got some trims. I've even got some butterflies. And of course, I have lots of other supplies as well. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. This card is that big. This card is that big. And what I'm doing, I'm positioning it on my page so I could kind of decide where I want to put my pockets. So what I'm thinking is maybe I will do, let's get my ruler. Let's see. If I do a what is that? 2.5 inches of a strip. It should be enough to keep this behind here, but let us be able to see the card sticking out. And then I think that's what I'll do the same at the bottom. So I'm going to cut 2.5 inch strips. Aren't the feathers pretty? That was again by Brutus Monroe. I thought she was. I know last week Jennifer had a dinner with a friend and it was early, so she couldn't be here. You know what I'll do? Let me see if I can find her in my texting and I'll text her. I'll say, where are you? Wait, why aren't she coming up? Okay, I guess oh, there she is. I guess we've messaged on Facebook more than we have on our texting. Where? Weber? No. Where? Where? I can't type. Are you? Question mark. All right. So I'm going to do 2.5 inch strips. 1, 2. I don't know where this piece of paper came from, but it's kind of a foil and it's thin. It's not very thick. So because it wasn't very thick, I have a piece of book page here. Well, I appreciate you sharing it. I appreciate it. All right, so I'm going to glue this to a book page so that it gives it a little bit more strength. Ah, there's Jennifer. Yay. We were missing you, Jennifer. Since this project was being done because you requested an oversized journal, and I took liberties with your color choices that I had asked her for. She said happy blue, and I think she may have said soft pink, and I decided to just say blue and pink. All right, so I'm just putting that on here, and then I'm going to glue another one down here. Yay, Miss Jennifer. So what have y'all been doing? I've been working, playing with our new printer that we have at the shop, trying to make things that kind of showcase how the equipment works for our customers, and then just ideas of jobs that we can do. For example, I printed on a rock that's a flat pebble that's probably about 2.5 to 3 inches in size, a picture of Hercules to add to my garden that would be an in memory of. I need to make one for Oreo. And if I can find digital pictures of some of my other dogs, I may do the same for them. I got to go to Lowe's because I need to buy rocks. I bought some rocks, and then after I got them home, I started looking at them. They were not the color that I wanted. So I'm going to take them back and get the color that I wanted of the rocks. All right, I'm just going to cut off the excess paper here. Go this way. I probably could have glued it down before I cut it, but sometimes I don't like trying to cut through recently glued paper. I'm glad you love that I'm making your suggested project. Oh, you had a spider crawling on you? Hey, spiders are bad this year for some reason. One of my other friends on Facebook that I know because of Canvas Court Brands, Trader's Angels, and I went to Creativation and met her in person, and then we became friends on Facebook. She had a, oh, good idea, Jennifer. I may do that. She got bitten by, I think it was a brown recluse. And so she's got this, I think it's on her arm. She's got a big swelled area. It's big deal. I'm not afraid of spiders. They may startle me because, something crawling may just, it's like, whoa, what is that? But I'm not afraid of them. And generally, I can kind of see what type of spider it is and usher it away from my home. In some cases, that means that it gets terminated. In some cases, it just gets let go outside or further away. Huh. That's a good idea, Jennifer. I may have to do that because my platen that I can print on isn't very big. It could accommodate a pretty good sized rock. The problem is it can't weigh very much. If it weighs too much, then it causes the printer to have issues. So that's why I've been doing the little rocks. But if I can find some that's just a little bit bigger that has a smooth side on it or somewhat smooth, I could do that. So that's a good idea. Thank you for saying that. And then Julie says, if you ever make a 12x12 journal, you'll try to find a 3-ring scrapbook album. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that way you could just put the pages in your scrapbook album. I think, oh, I can't see them from here. The other side, I have a couple of old scrapbook albums. I don't know if I can get to them. Oh. I can't get to them because there's stuff on top of them. But I wanted to show y'all. Let me see if I can do this. Face zoom. Can you see this lily? Oh, it's flashing out. Come on, don't do that. It's a really pretty shade of yellow. Go back this way. I bought it with my father-in-law purchased it last year. And it grew. It was blooming when I bought it last year. And so I put it in a pot so I could bring it in. And this is the blooms. Aren't they gorgeous? Ah. Okay, I gotta put this up. I had to show it off. It smells so good. Okay. It smells really good. Ah, tea tree oil? I will. I'll send her a message. I know that she's been fighting with it. So, okay. Here was my thinking. Was having those in the middle. I'm going to get some distress inks and go around the edges. And I think I'll go ahead and glue these down. And I'm going to position the top one for sure far enough down to accommodate the cards I want to put in it. Yeah, tea tree was a good idea. Well, and then in our house the other day, I was sitting there and all of a sudden I felt something hit my arm, and it was a huge beetle, kind of a bug. And I was like, what in the world? I thought, well, how did it get in the house? Because it's not like I have bugs. So he must have followed one of us in when we were out working in the yard. Okay. My thinking was putting that low enough that when I glue it down, we have a little space up here, because I think I need to put something over this little circle. And I want to put it at the bottom so that when this is in here, it doesn't cover up here. Since this is probably the tallest, I may cut all of these to be smaller pieces to go in here. Okay, so I'm going to lay that here. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. And I'm not putting a gusset on it because it doesn't necessarily need to be a huge pocket. Well, this time of year, the spiders are prolific. They're happy out there. Bugs are out right now because we're in, summertime here where I am in the central U.S. Okay, I like that up there. And then we're going to put this one down here. All right, make sure I did that right. Yeah. Pockets. And I'm doing the gluing of the pocket down first before I decorate it, because I want that to be set up before I put stuff in the pockets. So I'm just leaving about an inch on the sides here. Wipe my hands. Okay, so I want to put something up here, and I'm trying to decide if I should put, I saw some other here. Let me get these out. This is a dark grosgrain ribbon. Here is a lighter one. And I thought I could tie a little bow and put it right in the center on top of that. What do you think? Should I put the ribbon across there, or should I just tie a little bow? I may need to make it smaller, but I could tie a little bow. I'm going to get my good scissors. Maybe like that. Well, hi, Bonnie. How are you, lady? I hope you are well. Yeah, someone said SPIDER. They don't like them. It was on them. And then one of my other Facebook friends got bit by a spider. I think it's been 3 days, maybe 4 days now. She's been to the emergency room. They've got her on antibiotics. It's scary stuff. I kind of think the bow is what I want to put up there. So I'm going to put a drop of glue. The nozzle always gets gummed up. Try to position that. Okay, good. Okay. So I'm still, that made that page so much more sturdier with that paper on there. Okay, we got this part. So now I want to decorate this strips. And I found in my stash this little bitty trim. It has silver in it, and then the little fuzzy balls on the edge are light blue. And I think this is the correct direction. So I was thinking I could just glue it across the top or the bottom. The top or the bottom? I think the top. What do you think? Hey, Connie, welcome, welcome. I think I'm going to glue it near the top. So I'm going to put down this Beacon Fabri-Tac glue. I'm going to come down from the edge just a little bit and just make little dots across here. Julie, just practice. Just practice. That's the key. You know, watch a couple of videos that show you techniques that other people use. I've made it down further than I thought I was, but I think it'll work. I just, because I've done it so many times, I've probably made thousands of little bows because I used to sell these little decorative handmade angels that you could wear, and I had to make little bitty bows that were under an inch in size when tied. So use that really narrow ribbon to make them. And I kid you not, I know I've made thousands of those bows. All right, so I'm just going to add some more glue here. You could sew this down because it had white in it and I didn't want to change the thread in my sewing machine. I thought, well, I'll just glue it. Just glue it. I think I got it about the same distance as the other one. Cut this off. Oop. I have a little bit left. Maybe we'll find another spot for it. Okay, we got that together. I have here a few little butterflies. I'm trying to see what else I have. It says journal. I could put it at the bottom, maybe here. And then I've got these butterflies out. I don't know if any of them fit. They may be too big. I guess I could put it over. Here's a bigger one. And then here's a bigger one. Maybe put them up top like that. I was trying to just use some of the stuff I already have in my stash and see, I can use the bow as the center point. Yes, I have made tiny bows on a fork. What I used to do when I was wearing jeans or pants, I would take a straight pin and I would put the straight pin on my pants and basically feed it through so that I could put the ribbon underneath, and then I would tie my bow that way. Does that make sense? And then I would just undo this, cut that, and then do it again, do it again, do it again. That was easier than taking a fork with me because I would take it to events that we would go to that I don't have to pay very much attention to, like sporting events that my husband wanted to go to. So I would bring a small craft item way back before we had problems and you had to be scanned and everything. But anyhow, I would take those and I would sit there and we would watch football. We used to watch arena football and basketball, and occasionally we'd go to hockey. And so again, I would just take a little pouch and I would sit there and just tie ribbon bows. Yeah, it works easy doing it on a fork for sure. Just put a fork in your craft room, and then if to use that, you might try it, Julie. All right, let's glue down the butterflies. I'm thinking I want it up a little bit, so I don't want to put too much glue above. All right, right in the center, but up just a smidge. All right, I'm going to put a stamp block on it. I had these butterfly images. They're from Calico Collage, and I thought, well, I already had them printed, so why not use them on this project? All right, hopefully I didn't get any glue up too high. And then right there in the middle. All right, and we'll put it right there for a moment. You're welcome, Julie. You're welcome. Well, hi, Brittany. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, first time here. Thank you so much. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. You know, and even though my title says junk journal, you could also do something like this if you're a scrapbooker, because you could put all your photos in here that you want to be able to take out and look at. Okay, so we've got that part. So I think we need some bling. I saw this really skinny stuff, and I think I can just cut. This has a sticky adhesive on the back, and it's in strips. So I'm just cutting one of those strips. Oh, I like that. To be the length I want for the thorax. That's the body of the butterfly. Thank you. I can't remember who it was that told me that. Was it you, Bonnie? Somebody told me during the live stream when I couldn't find the words. It may have been Marcy. Yeah, Marcy. Marcy, right? All of a sudden, I went blank. I think the journal 19. Oh, it should go there. Oh, well, I hope you enjoy it. Oh, it's St. Louis? Nice. Happy Monday. We're from all over the world. Julie is from Australia. I'm in Yukon, Oklahoma. Eating dinner? We're going to have, we call them plandovers, because Henry and I try to stay budget friendly, eat good food. We'll make meals that will last us more than 1 or 2 days, usually up to 3 days. You like doing that with the butterflies? And so on Saturday, he smoked some ribs all day. It was really good. We had it for dinner Saturday night, and then we had some last night, and I think tonight we'll have some. I don't know if we'll be out after tonight, because I made Hawaiian macaroni. And if you haven't had Hawaiian macaroni, it's really good, and it's not as Hawaiian as you think it might be. It doesn't have pineapple in it. It has carrots in it, mayonnaise, and you have to have Hellman's Real mayonnaise or Duke's mayonnaise when you make it. And seasoning, I add onion. Well, they already have onion. I add more onion, and I add cheddar cheese to it. It's really good. And make the ad silent. Ah. You're going to tour? You're going to go tour? All right, so this one I want to put down here, and that fits in here. I made this little envelope. I don't have a card inside. Should we put one in or should I leave it empty? But I thought it would be cute if I poked that down in here. And then I saw, oh, here's this one. Since this is a handmade one, this is a handmade one. And this is a coloring book page in the background. And then this is a rubber stamped and watercolored flower. And then I just backed it on a piece of black paper and then a piece of watercolor paper there. And keep silent and keep your voice. Gotcha, gotcha. You know, maybe we should write to YouTube and say, hey. Well, see, I've seen during a live stream, and it's probably because this guy has millions and millions of followers. He does weather, and the way his is set up is he'll keep his picture in the front, and then over on the side will be where the ad comes up, so it doesn't cover him up. And I'm like, that's pretty awesome, but it's probably a partnership that he has. Okay, so this one has a little blue. Okay, I thought it might be too tall for there, so let's put that one in here. Oh, you know, we should put some ribbon on it. Let me see if this piece, if I were to just attach that right on top there. Okay, I don't ever use it, so I'm going to use my stapler today. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, it went through. So there's the staple. Now, I like to squish the back a little bit more so that there's not a chance of a little barb sticking out. Okay, that looked good. And I saw, I had these cards that were given to me. It's a long story, but there was a friend of mine that was one of my customers that I met in person and knew for a couple of years, who passed away. She had given a box of things to a mutual friend and that had also come to see me. And when Dee passed, I ended up getting a whole bunch of stuff from her. So this was some of the stuff that she had. And I think, yeah, I think that works. I don't know if I want to put one down there as well. I know we covered up a lot of the background, but when we take these out, we can see the pretty paper behind. Yeah, the ads. Okay, so I'm going to put this here, and this here, and this here. Stick that out. Okay, I think I like it. I like it a lot. So let's move on. Oh, I didn't use some of these pieces that I had over here, but they're over here because we may end up using them on the next page. And the next page, let me grab all my things. I may end up moving some stuff around again. All right, so this time I was thinking about covering this side with a blue, and at one time, let me get all these turned over. All right, let me set this here and set this over here. Okay, so at one time, I made a whole bunch of blue elements during one of my live streams because Jennifer said she was doing kind of a French towel in blue, and she was trying to come up with different ideas to match what she was working on that she could make. And so I colored a book page with Tattered Angels and Distress Oxide inks. Then I stamped on top of it in black ink and then cut out the elements into different pieces. So my thinking was I could put these on one side, and then I made a matching pink set. So I've got this matches, and this one matches. And I know I'm not in full picture, but it's over here on this side. And as I was looking at this, I was trying to figure out how I was going to do it. And this is a belly band. So I made a card that this can be put upon. I hadn't glued it together because I wanted y'all to see this. So I'm just going to go ahead and put glue at the top and the bottom and put the belly band on a card. So if you're trying to figure out another way to add belly bands without them being on the physical page, which can be a nightmare because you have to get them adhered enough that they're tight enough that whatever you put in there doesn't fall out of your journal. But what we're going to do is I'm going to show y'all a pocket. Oh, neat. So Julie says she's been fussy cutting and glimmer spraying through stencils onto copy paper for the 4 of the sub box journals, finally getting ready to sew them together. Oh, fun. Happy, happy, happy. All right, let's do the same thing. And I'll wait for the glue to dry, but the idea is that these would just slide right in there. And then this will be a little compact unit. And I was trying to decide what else I could put on here. I found some calico collage images, and I thought I could either glue this across the corner and make it a pocket. I may tear this and then this can stick out of it, was another idea. I have a blue one, and we could do this one differently. Maybe we could cut this jagged or tear it jagged so that when you stuck something in here, it would poke out the top. So y'all let me know what you think. Should I tear this or cut this? Tear this or fussy cut this while I'm going to glue down this book page. And I think I'm going to use my same technique that I did a minute ago because it seemed to work pretty good. So I'm just lining it up where I want it and putting a paper clip. I like this idea, this technique, because it allowed me to apply the glue, put it down, and it was lined up because that leading edge was all lined up. Now I'm going to put glue here. Okay. Over the edge. Okay. You can tell that my original page didn't quite get cut straight, but that happens when you're adhering a bunch of paper. I could have made this a pocket on here, but honestly, we're putting so many things in here, I didn't want a pocket between the pages. Oh, you missed it? Okay. Tear or fussy cut this leading edge here because I want to make it into a pocket. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and glue this on here so it'll have more strength. I'm kind of thinking I should just tear it the best I can. All right, let's smooth that out. Julie says tear it. All right, I'm going to glue these onto book pages so that they'll have a little bit more body to them, because this was really lightweight text paper. Smoothing it out, smoothing it out. Okay, now I'm just lay this over here. All right. I guess that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut off this edge, but I'm going to do it after I tear it. So I'm just going to come across the top here from the corner. I'm using my fingers to help guide where I want it to tear. Okay, there we go. And then I'm just going to cut off this edge. All right, and then I'm going to do the same thing on this one, although I think I'm going to kind of do it as a scallop. There. And cut this one. Like it? Okay. So now I'm going to take my Distress ink and go over this torn edge. And do the same over here. Apparently, I want these to both be side pockets this way. So I'm going to fold this edge in. And I'll fold the bottom up so you don't see it. And I'll cut this corner. And I think I'm just going to place this here in this corner. And then we'll add all of our other little elements to the page. I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm going to do it. You love torn edges? I don't always do torn edges. It's a rare occurrence. Just using my bone folder to really smooth this out so it'll lay flatter. Okay. So this is going to put right about here. And then these I'm going to put on the page. I think this one I want to be somewhat down far enough that my cards aren't sticking out the top of my page. And I know y'all can't see that, but I'm going to slide this over a little bit. Hopefully you can kind of see that I've got it over here on this side. So I'm going to glue these two down, again on bone folder. Oh, I already did the ink. I already did the ink on the pocket. Yeah, these have already been done too. Yeah, I did it when you blinked. I'm pretty fast, remember? I can put Distress ink on pretty quick. All right, so these are going to go over here. So I'm going to glue these down. Again, these were book pages. I took 2 book pages and glued them back to back. Then I smeared a Distress Oxide ink. In this case, it was Picked Raspberry, all over the paper. Then I took some Glimmer Mist, and I think it was called, no, Vintage Pink, and sprayed over it, and that's what made it get this softer, I call it more of a Victorian pink. It's not quite super soft. It looks darker on camera than it really is. Okay, so this one's going to go here. Yeah, world's fastest ink blender. Okay, and then this one I'm going to put, it's the same width as the one below it, but I like the way that curve looked, and so I wanted the curve to show. All right, so those are going to go in there, and then these are going to go in here. I haven't decorated this portion yet. I should be able to. This was just a piece of cardstock that I stamped in black around the edge. This was craft color, and y'all probably can't see it, but I stamped in pink. And then this is just an index card that I stamped in pink. So my thought was this would go in here. So you're using that belly band, and then this can go in our pocket and it sticks out. But I think we've got other items that I want to use. So while we're contemplating that, I'm going to come over here and glue this one down. So the same thing, just going to fold this edge over and do this edge. Okay, and then cut this corner. All right, and I think just kind of using the same concept as the other, as I'm just going to put it close to the bottom here. I've already inked the edges of this one as well. So I think right about there. You forget to ink blend? Yeah. Yeah, that happens. And that's okay if you forget. If it's not glued down, you can go in and add it. If it is glued down, use another piece of paper and just basically make a mask, and you can do the edges. So for example, if I had forgotten to do this edge, I would just take a piece of book page under there and then use my blending tool to go down that edge. You see where I've got it on the paper. Okay, got this one down. And this should be ready to be placed behind. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and glue these down. Now, let's go ahead and make sure I've got those pressed good. Okay, that one looks like it's been done. All right, gluing this one down. It's a good way to use up your book pages, is to make decorative paper and then colorize it, stamp on it, all that good stuff, and then make things out of it like I did here with the pockets and the belly band. And there were other items that I made as well from this same session, and I got those positioned in another portion of the journal that I want to put together. All right, so again, I want this down far enough. I put it here. All right, so that's going to go behind that. This is going to go here. This is going to go here. I don't have anything really on this area, so maybe, what do we want to do? I have this butterfly, this big butterfly. I could stamp it in black ink and then color it. Why don't we do that? I also have this paper, and I was thinking of folding it. I can glue it to itself back to back, so it gives it a lot more rigidity. So you have this side to write on and this side to write on. You could go ahead and write on the inside. I could color the inside, but this could go inside that pocket. Oh, this isn't getting glued down. Okay. Oh, you got an order sent, Connie? Okay, good. I didn't see the email today, but I'll look for it. All right, I'm going to get some white cardstock. Got some white cardstock. I'm going to stamp it in black, and then let me get, I guess, my watercolor pencils. And then I can color them. Oh, I can make it a faux envelope that folds. Yeah, that's another idea. I've got another one here. I've got a piece of this. So you're talking about where, what some people will do. This is how you can cheat to get them even. You can fold the edges in. Come on. Well, apparently I didn't get that very good the first time. Okay, now go back this way. And you can fold in these edges. And then you fold this down a little bit. I may have gotten it too big, but we'll see. And then you've got this little piece that we can decorate. All right, we'll do that. I didn't get a good stamping on the second one. I'm going to do it one more time, see if I get a better stamping. I was too concentrated on thinking about doing the envelope. Okay, that's a lot better. That over here, and oh, you know what I could do? I have markers that I hardly ever use, so I need to make sure that this is dry, because the markers have a tendency to blend. I'm just going to do the pencils. Okay. I need a pretty pink. I think this pink might be okay. Or would this one be better? That's more red than pink. This is a more peachy pink. That's a blue. Let's see what this one is. Oh, that's brown, purple. Okay, I like that blue. And I think this pink, or I do this pink. Let's do that pink. Okay. I'm just going to quickly color it in. All right, and I'm going to do the same with the blue. I'm doing it lighter than when I did my sample because it doesn't need a whole lot of pigment. I just didn't want it to be white on this one. Okay, so now I'm going to come over here, and in the dark areas, I'm going to add some blue. Okay, and then I'm going to come over here on the edges in these dark spots and add, do a little bit in here, some pink. I know, blue and pink make purple. That's okay. Okay, get my little paintbrush. I have some, I think that one's dirty, so I'm just getting a little bit of some water. All right, so I'm just going to do the pink first. I'm just going to go in around where I know the blue is. Do the same here. All right, so now I'm just going to kind of blend where the blue is. And I know y'all probably can't see it very well, but it's coming out a lot darker in that blue area. Okay, I'm going to clean my brush off. Oh yeah, and don't glue it so then you have the more space. Exactly, gotcha. All right, so now I'm just going to come in here with the blue. All right, I'm going to clean off my brush a little bit and then do the pink. A little bit of water. I don't know, I kind of like having a few rubber stamps that I can make my own embellishments. And hopefully that kind of gives y'all some ideas that you can try. All right, put this away. I could have left it out in case I wanted it again, right? But no, the fun is going in and digging it out. Hopefully I don't have a, oops, crash. Ah, that was what was going on. That's why you were doing that to me. You don't belong there. Okay. All right, let's quickly fussy cut these and put this together. All right, and you know what I could have done with those color swatches was put that on a nice piece of scrap and take the time to make those into little circles or squares or something. And that could have become a embellishment for the journal. I like the idea of putting the blue elements on top of the pink paper and putting the pink elements on top of the blue paper, so we can, in essence, mix it together. There's a lady, I do not know her name, but I saw her videos on Facebook. She dyes, I don't remember which side it is, but she dyes one half of her hair pink and the other half of her hair blue. Then she buys clothes that are pink, solid pink, or a patterned pink on one side, or not one side, the whole thing, and then she finds the complementary blue that goes with it, because usually a lot of clothing lines, they make them in multicolors. And then she goes home and she cuts them in half from top to bottom, and then remakes the garment so that the same side as her hair is dyed that's the color of her clothing. And the same thing on the other side, it's the same color. Her shoes, she buys 2 pairs of shoes, and she wears the one shoe is red or pink and one shoe is blue. And a lot of her videos is her showing her obsession with pink and blue in this fashion. And she has like troll dolls that she will buy 2 and then take all their hair out and make half of it pink and half of it blue. It's just, she is not going halfway, let me tell you. She has gone all the way. Where, I don't know, but you can decide. It's interesting. I think I found her because of the troll doll. I was probably searching something and that came up. It's either on Facebook or YouTube. I can't remember where, but, and then I know I've seen her on Facebook for sure, but it may have been YouTube the first time. And you know how algorithms work. If you watch somebody on YouTube, then if they have a Facebook page, they show up in your news or your feed, I guess you could say, so you can watch them there. Fussy cutting. Okay. Uh, we're living on a prayer. Guess what kind of music I'm listening to? I'm just adding some distress inks to this. All right, I am going to add some distress inks while I'm thinking about it. I missed this corner. To my faux letter. And I can get out some rubber stamps and we'll make it look like it's got a faux address on it. Okay. And if you want to go all the way in and colorize the whole thing, you can. It just kind of depends on what you like. But I think that'll look cute. And I think I'm going to distress this edge. I didn't spray Tattered Angels on the inside of this one. I just left it the way that it is. So I'm thinking I still want to just put this in here. Just down as far as it'll go. And then put this one in here. And then we'll decorate this and I can put it I don't know. Maybe I'll do this envelope someplace else. Okay. Put this in here so you get the different heights. Okay, let's put this guy on there. But before we do I want, I don't know. That's just some, I only have a little piece of this laying here. I was thinking about getting a little piece of lace. What if I did just a tiny piece? Yeah, let's just do it. Just because I haven't really used that much lace in this journal yet. And I want to try to use a little bit more. Now, do I want to put a piece of blue paper behind? I'm looking at my scraps here. That's not big enough. I have this really dark blue. There's the light blue. And then here's the dark blue. I'm kind of thinking this lighter blue would be better. I have my scrap boxes behind me. So this is all my blue scraps. I got like a Ziploc bag, and whenever I'm done with projects, I try to sort everything out by color. And if it's scraps, it goes in there. If it's like digital images or something like that, it may end up in a different spot. But I think what I'm going to do is tear this. I don't want that too jagged. And then we're just going to go down this edge. Okay. And then so we get that tear. What do you think? I don't need all these little scraps. I'm going to add some distress inks to it. Another thing you do is kind of make it that faux curled. Like it's really, really old and it's curling up. You can kind of take a flat edge and I'm just going to squish it down like it's been bent. Okay. So my thinking was put that on here, put that on here, put this on here. Put that down low. And that gives us another little look. And if I want, I could glue this as a real simple pocket. Yeah, the light blue's better, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for your input. I greatly appreciate your help. All right, let's put that right here. And then I'll just put enough on here that when I stick it down, it'll hold more of that lace into place. Okay. Alrighty. So now I'll put this right here. I like it. Hey, Sandra, welcome. And I think I am going to just kind of glue this as a real narrow pocket because there might be something, scrap papers later or something that I may want to stick in here. There we go. Jessie is a friend. Been a good friend of mine. Oh, I have this pale pink. It's a real pale pink. I think that works, but maybe we need something a little bit more. I haven't used this, but I have a little piece of mulberry paper. Is that the shade of pink? What I can do is glue the mulberry paper to this piece, and that gives us more pink. So we're using pink on pink. All right, let's see if I can put this together. Let's see if we can make it happen. Now, do we want to tear this one like we did the others? It's not as big of a scrap. All right, I think I'm going to go ahead and cut this one. Make it a little bigger. And what I'll do is I'll tear the mulberry paper. All right, I'm going to go ahead and add some distress inks to this piece. Okay. Now, I think what I want to do is just kind of see how this tears. It's not the easiest. Just so it's not a straight edge. And I'm using something that I've had forever. Okay, I think that works. Put this scrap back in my pink. And then this will go on here. And this will go on that. And then it'll go down. And to be different, I can stitch these together. Yeah, put it behind there does better, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm going to come over to my sewing machine. So we got the sewing lamb. And I'm going to stitch these layers together, making a little box by using the lace as my background, and then I'll put this on top. So, sewing lamb. All right, hopefully you can see that. I need to make some adjustments, it looks like. Okay, so I've got a zigzag stitch set up on my machine. I have black thread in the upper and the lower. And I'm going to start here on this edge. And apparently I need to thread mine. Oh, no, it is thread. Okay. For a minute, I thought it wasn't threaded. Just going around that edge. Regular thread, regular needle. I will change my needle if I'm going to sew on fabric for a garment. But otherwise, I don't change my needle till this one is obviously dull or bent. Okay, got that stitched. Yeah, it's really thin, mulberry paper. Mulberry paper. It's a fibrous handmade paper, and I have an abundance of it in my stash. This is just one little piece, but it's very, very thin. Think tissue paper in a way, but it has fibers running through it. It's almost like it's made out of spun silk, you know. That's how delicate this looks, but it's actually really tough. It's not super strong like a regular sheet of paper, but it's pretty tough for what it is. All right, so I'm just going to glue that together and then glue this as a pocket. I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac glue. Glue it in place. All right, and then I'm going to use Aleene's tacky glue to glue it down. Since it's just copy paper to printed copy paper. Let that dry. And let's put our cards over here. So those are in, and I'm going to go ahead, just because I did it on this side, I've got another one of these copy papers, because the envelope is really too short to fit in here, so we'll do it on another page. But in this instance, I'm going to just add in this as additional writing space. Another thing I could do is we could stamp. We got time, maybe that's what I'll do, is we'll get some rubber stamps out and stamp on this paper. So let's do that. So scissors go here, distressing tool goes there, bling goes back up here, and temporarily I'm going to move this out of the way so that we could stamp and put some kind of embellishment on these pages. So I have like a little curly Q little stamp. Although we're doing swirls on swirls, is that really what we want to do? I found something. I have these stamps. So I'm thinking this stamp stamped across the top would be really pretty. Now let's see if I can get it straight on the acrylic block. That's always the challenge. All right. Try to center this. All right, let's see what happens if I stamp. So let's pretend I'm trying to do the edge. So dropped it, but okay, that works. So I'm going to stamp this right across the top. Actually, I'm going to stamp it with it closer to me and flip it around. So there's what it looks like at the top. And I'm just going to go ahead and do the top and the bottom. And let's go ahead and do the other side. And I'll do the inside. This would be really pretty on coffee dyed paper too. So that's how it would look. Now let's do it on the blue. You have one of those stamps? Love the sewing lamb. I do too. I'm so glad that Giovanna made that for me all those years ago. If you're ever trying to stamp something at the top of your page, but it's so far away it makes it awkward, flip it around. There. Now I can put the stamp away. And the block away. All right, go in there. There it goes. I store my cling stamps on a laminated sheet that I made with all the images inside these little envelopes, and it helps keep me from losing my stamps. Okay. We got these two done. Let's flip this back open. So my thought was I'd put this right there back behind, and it fills up that space at the top and gives us a little bit more. We could do some bling on these butterflies. So let's see if that one fits. It does. And let's do this one. I may have cut one more than I need, but we're just going to go with it. Okay, I like that. While we're at it, we could add some bling to these other pieces. Let me get some bigger ones. I think this size would be good. Might as well. I got the bling. I might as well use it. Okay. Let's put one here. Let's put one here. And y'all can't see it, but I'm going to go over here. Put one here. Put one here. I think I like the way that looks. Only other thing I could do have this stationery, and I kind of feel like it's not going to work because it'll interfere. This one it would, but so I'm going to put some in there. And what I could do over here is fold it. I'm just going to fold it in half and put that in here. Let's put it this way. Kind of gives you that look that you have more layers of stuff in the pocket. What do you think of that layout? It's really pretty. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, well then, oh, I know what I want to do. Let's go back over here. So, oh, I guess what else I didn't do is I didn't add any other sentiments. But this has it here and here. So I think I'm going to leave it the way it is. Okay. So I'm coming back to the front of the journal because I feel like it needs something in this corner. And so I got out some of these die cut shapes, and I thought what I could do is sponge those a dark pink. And that what that needs here is some pink, because we got the blue on the other side, but we don't have a lot of pink on this side other than in here. Or should it be blue? So I'm going to do this, get a scrap of paper. Y'all tell me, pink or blue? While I put my gloves on. I'll find a pair, because I always get distress inks all over me. Love it. Okay, this way. I'm thinking pink. I'm thinking pink. You're going to have to be faster because I move quick around here, you know. So let's see what happens. I have another one of these if it doesn't look good. It's not real dark, is it? Pink with blue edges. Maybe that's what I'll do is I'll do them pink and then come back in with some blue. There. All right, so I added some pink. And now I'm just going to come back in with this blue. I think that works. I think that works. I'm going to glue that down. So I'm going to glue this one down first. I just felt like it needed something else. So as I was going through all of my boxes and bins and envelopes of things, I found some of these die cuts that I made a while back. I think that kind of matches the background papers that I made a while back. Don't you dare. I almost lost my lid. It would have fell to the floor. I thought going back to look at what I worked on last week is kind of good too, because then I can see if there's things that maybe this week I'm like, oh, why don't I do this? Why don't I add that? I saw something earlier. I've got like this little ticket that I could put up there, and I have this little butterfly we could put on there. And I know I have somewhere my little tiny postcards. Kind of make a little collage. And I have thoughts we could put on there. Oh. Thank you so much, Sandra. Okay, so I think that's what I need to do up there. I'm going to go ahead and trim out the center here. Get rid of that piece and add a little bit of Distress Inks gently. And these other pieces already have Distress Inks on them, so I'm thinking kind of doing like a little postcard peeking out from the bottom. And then just gluing this in the corner. And I was thinking of putting the butterfly kind of maybe at the top. Maybe like that. Oh, I have some of these flowers. Is too much blue? I have a white one. We could put a white one on top of the blue. Okay, I like this idea. Sometimes too, you just kind of go with it in the spur of that moment, whatever you're working on. I sat down a little bit Saturday and yesterday and kind of pulled items that I thought I wanted to use on the pages, and that's how I came up with the two that I showed y'all today already, or three technically, pages. There's going to be 12 sheets of pages folded in half, so 4 times 12 is 48. So there's 48 pages to decorate. I'll offset it just a little bit. Okay. That added a little bit more to it. I think we put this over here, but we didn't put a piece of fabric at the top. And I have more of this, so let's just cut it. And I'll do the same thing. I'll put it on this side, I guess, since we have that one on that side. And just stitch this into place. You're in Sydney, Australia. Oh, I forgot to show y'all. Stitching. We're doing stitching. Alright, so I'm just going to zigzag across here. Okay. So now this matches the other side. We have that dark over here. I have this blue piece back here And it doesn't have anything on it. Should stamp it and do the same thing that we did here on this one. So I'm going to set this aside. See, I didn't notice that. I didn't get that part done last week. It's a good thing I still have my supplies here, right? All right, so that I went all the way around. So I'm just going to stamp this. All the way. Go all the way around. I don't know why I haven't taken off my gloves. I guess because I have to stop to do that. Okay, so we went all the way around, and I should have, oh, I've got this piece of fabric here. So I'm going to cut a little snippet of this. And we're going to do the same thing where we stitch this. And I think I'm going to go on this side so it alternates on the other in the pocket. Okay. And then stitching. Here we go, stitching. Okay. It's going to be a chunky journal. So then I can put this in here. And now we have all these layers coming out of this pocket down here. And we have the layers over here on this side coming out. And then I've gotten things, I'm auditioning things. So over here, I've got some calico collage images that I thought would be pretty. And I've got some elements I thought I could turn into pockets. Do we want to do that one? Which one inspires me more? That one? I think I'm going to do this one. Okay. So first things I need to do is get everything out of the way for a moment. And hopefully I didn't lose anything that I had stuck out here. Okay. So I want to put this pink hydrangea blossom paper on my handmade book page paper. And to get it somewhat centered, it looks like my book page is bigger than my scrapbook paper. So I'm going to line it up on this edge. And I want to glue this down. I know I'm covering up these book pages, but I know they're there. Make sure that I put a good bead down this edge. And then smooth it out. I liked the way this paper looked. Isn't it gorgeous? I don't even know what paper pad I got it out of. I was just pulled a whole bunch of paper pads out and laid them in my lap while we were watching TV. And I would flip the pages. And if I saw something that I thought would go with what I'm doing here, I pulled it out. I thought, why not? I have all this scrapbook paper. Why not put it to use? Okay, so now I've got that part done. What I need to do is I want to cut these lengthwise because what I was thinking of was this could become a pocket, and this could become a journal card that goes in the pocket. Set it aside for now. Just trying to cut that in half. So like this could be on this side. I thought I had, maybe I didn't. I thought I had some bigger pieces of paper here, but I do not. So I'm going to look here. I have this scrapbook paper that I could put behind this to make a pocket, not covering the whole thing, just to make a pocket out of this piece. And then I see this pink that I could put behind this piece. So what I'm going to do now is cut these two pieces to accommodate my topper. And then what I'll do is stress the edges of everything. I'm just kind of centering it to see how far over I want to make the pocket. There we go. I'll go around the edges with Distress inks. And then I have these left over to do something with. So my theory is put this one here, and this one there. And then we can put stuff in the pocket. I can put it on the outside edge and have pockets go this way, or we can put it this way and have the pockets go that way. I don't know if I'll get this one finished today, but I thought, well, we could get a pretty good start on it. And next week I'll go back to the other side of the book so I can be doing stuff every couple of pages, moving towards the center. And my hope is that if I kind of go that order, that I won't do the exact same setup over and over and over again. Like I think this would look really good if I stamped around that blue. I could do that hen of rose stamp in black, or I could do one of these flourishes. I don't know, it's not as good. I'll have to look real fast through my stamps and see if there's one that I feel would be a different look. Or, you know, the concept is it's your journal that you made, so all the pages are going to be from your stash, so it's okay if you use the same stamp over and over again. That's what I think anyway. Another thing I could do is sew these elements on top of this other paper too. Oh, makeup for shaped edges so you can stencil and whatnot. That's a good idea. All right, I'm gonna move this again. I know I keep moving it a lot, but I need more room on my desktop. So I'm just gonna grab and stamp around this edge. I know we won't see all of that, but I like what I will be able to see. So if we take this and put it on top of that, doesn't that just give it another elevation? So if you don't have scrapbooking paper in the colors that you want, flip that paper over if it's two-sided and the other side is white. Make the color that you want on this side, stamp on it, make your own papers. All right, let's do the blue the same way. Just trying to rotate the stamp so it's not the exact same look every time. Make your own pretty papers. There. All right, so I'm thinking that we should glue these down, and then I like the idea of stitching around that outside edge. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue in the middle. It's a great way to use these images because I thought they're so pretty. And I made a tall, skinny journal with this Fairy Frolic, I think is from Calico Collage. So it's a tall, skinny journal using 8.5 by 11. So it's 4 1/4 wide by 11 inches tall. Let's make this out. Okay. Let's go to the sewing machine. And I'm going to stitch around these. I got out a bunch of little papers that I think I might want to use for decorating the rest of the page. I didn't get out everything, you know. I just try to grab enough that I can make a good decision of what I want to use and what I want to decorate the page with. Okay. We got 3 of the 4 sides. I think I'm going to have to add a little bit of a gusset to the top and the bottom because of the piece I want to put inside the pocket. I don't want it to interfere with where I glue it down and not have enough top and bottom clearance. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do is I'll add the little tabs before I glue it down. Go this way. Going round and round and round again. Another thing I might do that I haven't done in a long time is get out the Tulip Dimensional Glitter Paint. and then just leave whatever page I just finished open on my desk and add the glitter paint. And then I'll come back into my studio space over the next week before the next live stream and add more glitter paint to the other pages I've already got finished. Okay, so we got those two. So let me grab the journal. So my thinking was to put the blue over here and the pink over there. And I'm going to grab a book page and cut a couple of strips to put at the top and the bottom. So I'm going to just make a 1-inch strip. That should be enough. And that way it'll give me clearance for the card that I want to put inside. So I'm just going to turn this over and add a bead of glue here. And then take this piece and lay it in the glue so it goes past. And then I'll trim this off. Okay, and then we'll do this side. I've brought those lilies in, so they're sitting on the other side of where I'm with my computer. It's my photo booth area because it was the flat surface that was clean. And so I can smell those flowers all the way on this side of the room, even though I kind of got a half wall. It goes almost to the ceiling, but it's a half wall between us. Okay, so that's going to go there. I'm going to go ahead and do this one while we're at it, because I don't want to forget, and then glue it down and be like, oh, shucks, I forgot. Okay, trim, 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 to trim, to trim, trim, trim. Once it's dry, I'll trim the corners off just a little bit. This could have also become a giant belly band if you wanted on your page. Okay, so that goes there, that goes there. I'm just gonna let it dry before I fold the tabs over. And then I had out a few little things. So I was thinking maybe, okay, what do I got here? Okay, I've got this butterfly that we can make into a pocket. I have a little flower that's oh, you can't see it. It's a sticker that I put on some ivory paper, and I'm just thinking of just making a little collage up there at the top. I've got another one that I thought we'd put over here. Okay, so I've got, this is a Calico Collage domino size image, but I told my computer to make it a full big piece. So I was thinking of putting that in there. And then on this side, it's a card, but I thought it could be a pocket. And I think I have these. These are from the Botanica Music Botanica kit. And these were for the mini journals that were extras. And I thought maybe that would be cute if I put them in that pocket. I still have an empty space here. The journal cards I'm going to put in will just barely stick out, is what I'm thinking of these. So we have room to put something here if I have a pocket down here. I think I'm going to go ahead. I've got extra stuff out here in case I wanted to use it, but I think that's what I want to use, because that's going to be, yeah, this is the better setup. Okay, so what I want to do now is add gussets to this to make a pocket. So I'm going to get another. I have a little strip here. I'm going to get a book page. And cut a couple of strips. And I think you missed it. Well, what are you doing, Julie? Aren't you supposed to be paying attention to me? I'm going to go ahead and do a few extra strips for this pocket over here. So I have plenty. And let's glue these. Thank you so much, Catherine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so I'm just going to add to the back side of this Calico Collage card, which also comes from the Fairy Frolic digital journal kit on her Etsy. I didn't put a link in the description box today, so I will try to get that up there next week. All right, I like the way this is looking, so. All right, and I'm going to put one across the bottom here and give that a moment to dry before I fold the edges over. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ads, ads, ads. The music I'm listening to is free, so I have to listen to ads. I've got an ad right now. It's like, good grief. They all got to make their money, don't they? They can just make it on somebody else. They don't have to make their money on me. All right, so I just went ahead and trimmed all those edges real fast. And then I'm going to do this one the same way. As soon as I find my strips. Okay, there's a strip. I may need another strip. I only had 3. Let me see if this one is long enough. That'll be good enough, I think. Okay. And then go this way. Okay, now. And it's important on the next step that I put it on the right side. So it goes on this one. For the bottom of my pocket. I'm kind of thinking, well, if it goes all the way to the bottom, it'll stick out a little bit. So I'm not going to worry too much then. Put this on the bottom. Okay. And then cut this one off. Okay. Give that a moment to dry. Clean up my mess and take off my gloves because they're starting to get hot now. They're stuck to my fingers. Off with you, off. There. Whew. Okay. So now I can take this and fold it over. Okay. And do the same here. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is put glue here, here, and down this edge, and then glue it down on my page so I can stick things in it that way. With the butterflies, yeah, that's from Calico Collage, Fairy Frolic. In fact, I think all of these images, this pocket and this, I think this pocket is from Fairy Frolic as well. I had printed several when I was making the Fairy Frolic journals, and I didn't use all of them. So I thought, well, I'll put them in this bundle and use it. Okay, I like that. So we'll do this one now. Oh, I forgot that. Yeah, I forgot my nails. They're pink. Different shades of pink. I use, I think it's called 30, if not, it might be 30 on this particular one, on copy paper. It was the thicker copy paper. Sometimes I'll print on the thinner copy paper because I forget to change it out of my printer. But it looks like this time I remembered to do the thicker paper. I buy it off of Amazon. Yeah, I need to go this way. So I'll grab that link and put it in the description box. So I'm just trying to come in a little bit from the edge so it's not in the binding when I go to bind it. Okay, so in theory what'll happen is this will become a pocket for this journal card that I'm going to make here in a moment. Or next week, because we're at 5:51, so we can get off here in just a few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and glue this pocket down and the one on the other side. And I'll look at my stash of papers and see what I have to use to back these. I could use just copy paper, or not copy paper, coffee dyed paper. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and glue this one kind of right here at the bottom. So right about here. So you can still see that pretty scrapbook paper behind. And I know y'all can't see it, so I'm going to slide this down. I have a little iris image up here that I'm going to glue down. Okay, so this will go in the pocket. And then we'll slide this over here. This will go inside that pocket once I back it. And then over here we've got another little card that I've turned into a pocket. Just trying to get that book page folded. All right, I'll glue this down. And there's more stuff that I can do to this, so next week we'll pick up on this page and finish out the decorating of it. And I may go ahead and at least find some coffee dyed paper for the backing of these and add the distress ink so that part's done, and then I'll look through my stash to see what else I want. So this will go in that pocket and these will go in that pocket. Yay! Okay, I like it. Let me go back. So we did this today. I added these embellishments to this side of the page because I felt it needed something else. And then this is going to be thick. This page, oops, it fell out, was a calendar, and then I added pockets to it, and then I added some elements that I made a while back, and then we did this 2-page spread here out of some elements that I made during a live stream. That's where these blues came from, and then I just duplicated it into the pinks. So we've got the next page layout. I've already kind of set some things in there. And I think, yeah, here's another one I've already done. So I've been kind of adding things where I thought I wanted it to go in the journal. And like I said at the beginning, This is one of those projects where I can come back in and add more stuff. But it's already, just with what I've temporarily even put in there, it's already showing some bulk. Thank you so much. Yeah, looking for the heavier paper. Yeah, see, 100-pound cardstock. Oh, it will go through your printer? Okay, good. The copy paper, I think, was 32 pound. It may have been 24, but I think it was 32. I'll look on my Amazon, like I said. So that's what we're at today. Oh, I didn't get this one glued down. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I hope it gives you some inspiration of using up your stash to get in there and make something out of the things you already own. So I think this will be pretty. Poke down in here if I can get the pocket to work. And then this will go over here. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. Well, I guess I'm going to get off of here and have some dinner with Henry. And I'll see y'all next week. Do something creative this week. I hope you'll share in the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group, or you can tag me on social media and so I can take a look at what you've been working on. Do something kind for somebody else. You never know what someone else is going through at the moment, and your words of encouragement or opening the door or paying it forward by you're in a store somewhere and you buy something from the person behind you. You never know what it's going to do to them and make them that much better. Know that you are loved. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and thank you for being a part of my live stream. I greatly appreciate your feedback, your donations, sharing, and if you would leave a comment, what was your favorite part of this live stream down below in the description or the comments of this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. Y'all have an amazing week. Lots of love, everybody. Bye.